Okay guys, I wanted to give you an up-close look at this real quick, and then we're going to talk about a couple of things within this flint knapping set. We're going to be selling some flint knapping tools on our website very soon. I found a guy at the Flint Ridge Knapping from Indiana that makes tools, you know, right in his own shop. And he's going to get those tools available to us so that we can sell them on our website, because I want to have a basic flint knapping kit and some basic flint knapping tools available to the Pathfinder students, not only for primitive classes like basic and advanced, but also just for, you know, people who are in phase 1, phase 2, and people who just want to knap on their own. Obviously, I've done videos on knapping in the past, knapping glass, and here's an example of a glass arrowhead here. This is made out of the bottom of a wine bottle, and this one is Naviculite from Arkansas, just a point. This is more of a Cahokia style point made from Flint Ridge, and then this is a gun flint also made from Arkansas Naviculite. But what I want to show you was the quality of these tools. This is a nice carved or spun lathe Delron handle. It's got an adjustment screw in it with a nice piece of copper in it that's about that long, so you can continually pull that out and sharpen it, and you can replace it with any copper nail. He makes some really nice copper boppers. These are the nicest copper boppers I've ever seen. Most of the boppers that you see on the internet are a lead-filled copper shell, like a butt cap or an end cap for a piece of copper pipe. These are solid pieces of copper, and this Delron is drilled, and they're actually screwed in there, and there's an Allen screw that holds that on, and you can replace that if you wear it out. But that's a solid piece of copper on there. And he makes them in 3 different sizes, for anything from spalling, you know, big pieces of flint that you find, to re-knapping, or just working around the creek bed to make something usable for a blade or a flint striker, for your fire kit, or for a musket to use as a replacement like this one. It also makes a nice channel hand pad. This one's left-handed, as you can see it's marked, and that's used to channel your flakes so they run better. We've talked about that in past videos on flint knapping. And then he makes a really nice ishi stick as well. And ishi sticks give you a little bit more leverage for busting off long flakes and things like that. And we've talked about that as well in some of our past videos. But I wanted to show you this flint knapping kit, or these tools. What will be offered on our site, probably initially as a kit, will be these 2 tools, the hand pad, a small piece of leather, and an abrader. And then you'll have the opportunity to buy the bigger billets if you'd like them, or the ishi stick. So let's talk about just a couple quick tips and tricks. You know, we've talked about glass as a medium a couple different times on my videos from 2009 to present. In a couple different videos I've made actual points out of glass like this one, but I want to talk to you about busting the bottom out of a bottle to use it for a point, and I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to do that right now. Okay, so this is a Samuel Adams bottle, and like I said, glass is a great free medium to use for knapping. You can make anything from temporary blades for skinning out small game to full-on arrowheads to use for hunting. The easiest way to bust the bottom out of this without breaking the bottle and taking a chance on breaking the bottom, and the bottom, by the way, is the best part to make an arrowhead out of. You can make a sharp enough blade for skinning out of about any area of this bottle, but if you want to make an actual arrowhead, the best place is the bottom. You don't want that curvature in an arrowhead, or it's not going to fly right. So you've got to make that out of the bottom of the bottle so that when you're done with it, you don't have concavities in it. So it looks more like this, and it's aerodynamically shaped, and that's what you have to have. You can't have that curvature from the side of that bottle in an arrowhead and expect it to fly right. So you just drop that in and bang it, head down, just like this. Boom, there it goes, okay? When it drops out, you should have the whole bottom of that bottle ready to be used for knapping an arrowhead. So real quick, I just wanted to show you, you know, how good this little bopper, this is the smallest bopper, and man, does it just, I mean, it does a great job real quickly at just removing all of the excess material from around the edge of this bottle bottom. Because it's rounded, that's what I really like about it. Like I said, a lot of the ones that you find on the market right now that are made from end caps for copper pipe are squared off, and they don't work as well because they're not rounded. That rounded edge gives you those glancing blows that you really need to trim that glass up with, because you're going to have to get this edge trimmed all the way around anyway before you can really start. And this smallest bopper just makes a great trimming tool for that. And you'll get used to doing this. You'll probably break 4 or 5 of these bottoms of these bottles before you get this part right. But once you've done it a few times, you'll get to the point where you can do it without breaking the bottle. And then you're going to have to break it somewhere where you can get that saw edge going and get that raised lip completely off of there. And that's just a matter of the right angle, and you'll get that. Again, now I'm just going around at a little different angle to pop that lip completely off of there. Supporting that piece in the back so that I don't break it off or break it in half. And you'll get used to all of this stuff as you go. And the more of these things you break, the better you're going to get at it. I had an old Flint Knapper tell me one time that what makes a good Flint Knapper is time and tonnage. The time you spend doing it and the ton of material that you go through, breaking rocks, breaking glass, whatever the case may be, whatever medium you're using, it's just like dirt time. You know, you've got to just do it to get good at it. It's not something that comes overnight. It's something that comes with just a little time and energy. And once you go around that thing all the way around it and you get that lip off, then you'll have a nappable piece. Then you'll have something you can really actually sink your teeth into, or sink your flaker into, and try to get some good nappable flakes off of there. But you got to get that raised bottom off of there first. And like I said, this tool is just dandy for that. It's easy to finesse this tool around the piece and not break it if you've got the angle right. And you can see now that I'm getting some flakes off on this side, and that's what I need to do to actually start napping this thing. And once I get that situation going the way I want it, and I've got that sawtooth edge, then I can basically come back with my flaker and start going after it. But this is the first step in that process, is to get this done. And this tool just does a dandy job of that. So you can see it's almost all the way around. You got a spot right here that needs to come out yet. Then we'll be able to come on that other side and knock that out of there. There we go. So that's a pretty good start right there. Now you come back on the other side and knock a few flakes off. You're going to have to get this concavity out of here and make it shaped more like this side, so most of your flakes you want to drive off this side to begin with, to start building that up. And a bottom like this is not going to make a big arrowhead. A bottle like this is going to make a small game point, and it'll work just fine. Just takes time. Like I said, time and tonnage is what it's all about. I'm not going to sit here and make a full arrowhead. I've done it many times. I just wanted to kind of show you how good this little bopper works. It's just a dandy bopper. It's one of the best ones I've ever seen. That's why I chose to go with this guy's tools to sell on my website, because I want the most quality gear that I can find with the best type guarantees and the best construction, the best overall quality, and the most multi-purpose that we can get. And this thing could be used for pounding in tent stakes. It could be used for just breaking or shearing off a piece of quartz at the creek to use for a flint striking kit, or whatever the case may be. It really doesn't weigh that much to keep it in your pack. And like I said, you know, I'm always going to go tool heavy, if anything. So to carry something like this doesn't bother me to throw that in my haversack at all.